We're going to see a lot. The trailer looks great. How did you guys filming? You guys were in Albuquerque?
Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, it was great. I've only been in bubble seasons, as they're called, so I don't know anything different. So being in New Mexico, it offered the perfect environment, from start to finish.
Oh, I forgot about that. So were you guys weren't allowed to travel to different states during this, right?
Nope, just New Mexico.
So the same situation as the other season.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And how was that? Did you feel like it was a little different because maybe they're a little bit more adjusted to the new way of filming things?
For me, I liked it because you get this, intimate connection where you're just focused on the dates and the person and not the travel and the excitement of that. Travel's fun, but we're just focused here to fall in love,
Right. And I guess in real life, you're not traveling every second with your partner. So I guess it makes it a bit more realistic while also not at the same time. But we all know that.
Yeah, definitely. The Bachelor and Bachelorette always kind of joke about night one, maybe if they needed help with names or didn't need help with names. Did you have everybody's name down or did you need a couple hints?
No, I actually was able to get it pretty quickly because my job in banking is to get to know your customers and their names and faces. So for me, I picked it up right away.
What about the double names? How do you deal with that? Because every season, double names, it's too confusing.
We have Andrews, Connors, and Michaels on my season. And that I will say was a little hard in the beginning.
Yeah. It's funny because, we go through all the bios and we talk about what everybody's bio has. And it's once you hit the third double name, it's oh boy, we always joke because we're you can bank on one of these guys going home night one because you can't have all these doubles.
Imagine you got to the finals and it was both Connors. Yeah, that just doesn't seem possible. One Connor knows that he's not going to make it. They have that in the back of their head. They know one of us has to go.
Wow, I actually would really love for that to happen at some point. I know.
Well, maybe it will, and she can't tell us.
Yeah.
She could just tease it.
Katie, in the teaser, we also see a little special guest, Blake Moynes. We don't really know how he shows up or what happens, but how did you feel about that?
I was shocked. I was not expecting that at all. I knew probably people would show up later just because we are in this bubble. Mm-hmm. And so when I saw him, I didn't know what was happening. And also people kind of forget that's Tayshia's ex. Yep. And Tayshia's there with me, so it's very interesting.
Oh, I actually totally forgot about that.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even put two and two
I didn't even think about that one time.
No, I kind of wrote that off because I feel like we wrote Blake off during the season. And then when we talked to him after, we were like, oh, Blake's great.
Yeah. But we were always rooting for Blake, and Blake is also very sex positive.
We were not always rooting for Blake.
Afterwards. I'm saying now we are, but like I said, kind of the sex positive thing. It's Blake. He's an open fella, so we're excited to see what happens with him.
I will say, coming off my season with Matt, people were really shipping him and I before, so I was a little familiar with who he was and kind of his background.
I feel like maybe a little Instagram stalk. You got to see what he's all about. And then bam, there he is showing up right in that moment. And then you said Caitlyn and Tayshia were such a big part and so helpful for you. It wasn't like they just popped up during the rose ceremonies. What was some of the best advice that they gave you?
Yeah, the two pieces was, don't just pick one person from the first night, be very open, get to explore these relationships because that's what it's about. And then the other piece of advice was letting go of control, because in that environment, you cannot control anything, and that was a really hard part for me.
Yeah. And now you're done. We're all wrapped up and you're doing your interviews and whatnot. How has it been kind of post filming, dealing with kind of going back to regular life, or are you not going back to regular life?
I mean, I am back at my normal life for the most part. It still kind of feels like a dream. I think this is the beginning of where it gets a little chaotic. So I'm kind of holding my breath right now.
Yeah. How has social media been for you?
I mean, I've always been a social media person. So I'm always very active and engaging with people. It's just different now having so many people watching every single thing that you're doing and overthinking and overanalyzing everything now.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. And we saw the trailer for this season, and I feel like every season we see the lead at some point maybe have a little freak out. They want to get out of there. I think we saw that a little bit from you. Can you tease a reason why maybe that you were freaking out?
I mean, it has a lot to do with not having control. You want to have control. You want to plan and predict everything that you think is going to happen. And when it doesn't go your way, you freak out a little bit.
Yeah, that's very understandable. And you're in one spot. You've got all these guys coming in. Were any of the guys like? Did you think night one this is going to work, or were you skeptical?
Oh, night one, I was very optimistic.
Okay.
I had great guys. They all had amazing potential. So I was like, let's go. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then what about the week after that?
No, I really did get to know each and every guy, like moving forward and get closer with all of them. And, I will say up until the very end, I was pretty confident. But then the way things happened, I could never have predicted. And I'll just leave it at that for now.
We can't wait to see what happens. That's a great way to wrap it up. And our last question will just be, because we know you can't tell us, but are you in a happy place now?
Yeah. Overall, I'm very happy. Everything happens for a reason.